Crack a freshie.
Aloha from Niner Island. Welcome back. We are doing our post-draft recap. In our last episode, we had mentioned a little something that if we got either of the quarterbacks we wanted, we'd be doing a shot and a beer. So
beer and a shot.
Bang, bang. Niner gang. Trey to
Woo-hoo!
the Bay, baby.
Trey to the Bay, baby. Yeah.
So, we're going to do a quick recap. We're going to talk about basically our three favorite players from this draft that weren't the quarterback. So, obviously, we got my number one guy. We got your 1B. Either way, I think we're both happy with that. We'll go in, deep on Trey and what we think we're going to do with that. But first, we're going to talk about top three players we drafted. Go.
All right. So, I'm going to start with the two running backs that we picked up so that we can fortify that amazing running back room. All right. So, we'll look at the first cat, Trey Sermon. There's a theme of Treys coming in this year, right? So, Trey Sermon, violent runner. This cat was beast mode. The man ran for over 330 yards in the Big Ten championship game this year. So, anytime you're doing something like that, you're killing it, right? So, really good size, soft hands, good out of the backfield, violent runner. This dude looks for contact. He's going to run your ass over. So to have that type of mentality and that type of dynamic to come in, and then we picked up Elijah Mitchell. Another good size, elusive.
Fast.
He's slippery. He's got a great burst. Quick getting to his top speed, also good hands out of the backfield. This cat is going to be another playmaker, another beast to go along with Mostert, Wilson Jr., Jermichael Hasty. We got the running back room done real well, right?
Absolutely.
So the other cat I'm going to talk about is Talanoa Hufanga. I love this cat.
Yes.
So humble. I love a guy that's a high character guy. And this guy was so grateful for the opportunity that we're giving him. The man is also a beast, though. He trained with Troy Polamalu, so you got some game if you got a legend like that coming in. Also had the rare opportunity to play with three of his cousins in the USC defense this past season.
Right.
So great instincts. He's already gotten used to being able to play kind of, on that tether with other really strong connections and other good chemistry. He's so grateful to be coming in and just – this is the other thing that I really love. So he's got lofty expectations for himself already. So he's coming in. He understands that there's levels to making it in this league and also on a stacked team like the Niners. So this man's goal is to come in and make the Pro Bowl as a special teams player. That is huge. And I think because of that drive, because of that dog, he's going to probably make himself ready to jump into the starting lineup at some point. Hopefully it's not because of injuries or anything like that, but just you got talent like that, you can't keep that off the field. So those are my three cats right there. What do you think, Coop?
I love it. I'm going to go in, don't forget to give my players, but for me, in this particular draft, because it took me a minute to really analyze and kind of, I felt like they threw me a couple curveballs, but the more I dug in, the more I like what we did. So this is actually less about particular players and more about exactly what we did. Okay, and don't get me wrong, I love the players. I'm just saying this is a little different. So for me, what I love about what we did, I'm sitting here thinking, okay, we definitely need depth, in the back, the defensive backfield. I think we need depth at wide receiver just because number 3 beyond. We're not sure what we have, a true slot, all of those things. And then all of a sudden we get an offensive lineman, right? So I start digging in, and not only do I love the kid, he is, a kid from the Bay. First of all, I call him a kid. This motherfucker's 800 pounds. He's a big dude. But again, it's what we're doing, right? So think conceptually. What do? We know we have a stacked team. We know we can go and win something right now. What keeps biting us, right? One, we haven't had good backup quarterbacks, right? So anytime Jimmy plays a whole season, we go to the Super Bowl. Anytime he doesn't, we don't, right? So we looked in the offseason, like I talked in the last, video, for somebody that can back him up, and then we went in the draft and we got that dude, right? That we hope can sit, but if anything happens, if he has to come in, the dude can make it happen, right? So I wasn't even thinking, because we really took care of our offensive line in the offseason, but right guard was the only competition. So we picked this kid up, plug him in, starter, right guard, offensive line is set and we have depth, right? Because I like Brunskill a lot, but he can also back up all the different spots, right? So picking up Banks, plugging him right in, solidifies our whole O-line and moves everybody else in that depth back. So if anything happens, we've got no wood knock this time, right? We're covered, right? And then bam, we come up, we trade up to get a running back. I'm like, trade up to get a running back? Like our running back room's stacked, right? But then I think about it, like we want to be 50-50. Everybody says they want to. Shanahan goes 50-50. We want to run and throw 50-50, and we run the hell out of the ball. Even with Super Bowl, you saw what we did in the playoffs. We ran the hell out of the ball, right? And Mostert, I love him to death. He's fast. He's perfect for our system. He's not the biggest dude, right? He did get injured last year. So even though we're kind of stacked, we have gone through 4 running backs years in a row now, right? So to get this dude who may not be as fast as everybody, but he actually really reminds me of Frank Gore. He's got great vision. He's got one cut go. He can make people miss. He's got game speed. He's not super fast, but he's got game speed. And everybody thought it was weird when we picked him up because he doesn't have hands, but just because the offensive was in didn't throw it to the running back a lot doesn't mean he doesn't have hands. He's got plenty of catches. He's got soft hands. He can route run, and he can get, loose after he catches that ball, right? And then, same as you, man. And any kid that is working with, so Troy Polamalu is one of my favorite non-Niner players of all times. So the fact that he's working with him and talking with him, he's a family dude. Like, he's just so humble. And he reminds me of, Troy, who was, so soft-spoken and so courteous, and then he got on the field and just knocked souls out of people. And I think that's what we got with this kid. And, again, as far as what we want to do, he's a great piece for a solid defense because he can go and play linebacker. He could be a safety in the box. He could do a lot of different things, and he helps us in special teams right off the bat. And as you said, that was his goal, was to come in and be Pro Bowler first year doing what he needs to do. He's so humble, so talented, and he's working with one of my favorite players of all time. So those 3 are my guys. And again, mostly because of just, what we're doing as a team, how smart the brain trust is for this team, doing what we need to do to make sure we can get all the way through, even if we got to, first line, second line, third line, whatever we got to do, to keep moving forward with these guys. I just love the way we handled it.
Yeah. I thought that it was amazing how you had so many so-called experts saying what we were going to do with that number 3 pick. It was Mac Jones, it was Mac Jones, it was Mac Jones. But in actuality, Kyle and John didn't even talk to each other about their ideas and their thoughts and who they were leaning towards during this whole process, because they didn't want to influence the other and make the other one lean one way or the other. They also didn't want the scouting teams and the personnel guys to feel like they couldn't give just full disclosure and give all of their feedback on the different players because they didn't want to, upset one of them or whatever. It was just really just kind of like,
unbiased opinions.
Unbiased opinions. We're going to go through this the right way. And then it wasn't until days before the draft where John and Kyle got together and realized they were on the same page. They both wanted Trey. And it was just the right way to just go about the whole process. You made sure that you made the right decisions and they got the right information. And it just speaks to the way this organization is going about winning and building a class organization and doing it the right way for the long haul.
Right. Yeah. And again, also still listening too. I love the fact that, the story about, we picked up Debo, the defensive back, right? And the fact that Adam Peters was the one that really looked into him, really liked him and was, champion, that dude. Just like, it was like Kinlaw last year, right? Where before it was like sending pictures, every day and, and just the way this team operates, from the top down, and they listen, you know what I mean? Nobody's ego is too big, that they listen and yeah, I mean, we've been saying this since we started this show, but I love the fact that the way we're built currently, top down, I think we're built to do this for a long time.
Yep.
Right, so,
absolutely.
So that's our draft recap. We'll be back soon, talking about the offseason and some other stuff. But until then, go Niners.
Go Niners.
Chee-hoo!